The King of Swords is here. He's an exalted person. He can be someone over 30 or 40 or a very wise person beyond their years. This is usually an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. This can stand, because it's a king on a king, this can stand for taking the moral high road, cutting through the jive. The sword is kind of lighting up for me, like cut through the jive of the bullshit. Sorry, don't mean to swear. Cut through the jive and look at things as they actually are. But does look like a moral dilemma that has kind of landed in your lap. So please take the moral high road. Speak your truth, even if others, start assigning blame, pointing fingers, being nasty. The sword is kind of telling me beware of people that are taking the lower road. So even if they fly low, you fly high. So yeah, the King of Swords, he's exalted. He can stand for new ideas. He's quite the thinker. Education, kind of the upper echelons of the mind. So please use that to your benefit. And don't swing low, even if somebody else is. What crosses you is the Fool. So be careful of making the same mistake twice. The Fool also can stand for taking a risk, taking a leap of faith. It is feeling like if someone presents a situation that you already learned from that didn't work out very well, heed that warning inside of you. If all the bells and whistles are going off, warning, 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 please listen to yourself. Do not make that mistake twice. And it does look like it will present itself. This may be with a friendship or love relationship, but this does feel like there is a temptation of some kind, that you need to take a leap of faith into your own greatness. Don't be fooled if someone presents something again that you've already dealt with, that you've already dealt with their integrity, you've already dealt with how they either don't tell the truth or take credit for something, but don't give your power over to this King of Swords. Be very, very careful about making the same mistake twice. The King of Wands here. Wands is fire. Wands is movement. This also can be an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. This feels like someone who actually does have a moral compass that is almost in opposition to this King of Swords. So take the high ground, but it does feel like some movement needs to happen. Swords can be, create movement, can take an idea and put it into action. This does feel like someone that is a very strong person that does speak with integrity and is quite healing. This may be someone in the healing arts as well, but it does look like someone who has your back. It does look like someone that you may go to for some advice, and he or she can help facilitate the movement of an idea and taking it from the ethereal or the idea place and putting it in and manifesting it into the physical place. So don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't be afraid to get a little clarity before you start that motion. But it does feel like there's some trickery involved here with the King of Swords, so don't be fooled. And stay in integrity. Two kings on top of each other tells me stay in integrity. It's a moral situation. So if someone presents to you, Sagittarius, if you're in a relationship and someone is flirting with you, that's the type of thing. I mean, you follow your moral code. No matter how easy the situation will be to go the other way. It may be taking the high road and it may be hard for you, but it's time to stay on that path of healing and embracing truth and really having all those lessons that you just learned put into action for more positive than cleaning up. The star here is new ideas. That's giving of yourself to an idea. This big star here is like down from the heavens. So something is trickling in from an idea form, and it's like halfway there. Make sure that you're not pouring out all of your energy into something and not giving to yourself as well. This can involve others, so you may have to be like the catalyst of collecting people to create this from inception. But the Star is a wonderful, powerful card about starting new things, giving of yourself, but also give to yourself as well, finding the balance for yourself. And I know Sagittarius, your fire just goes out there when you're ready to rock and roll. And it does look like this has become a part of your awareness. Just collecting more information, collecting more people for the project, for the idea, for the gathering. But it's something that you've wanted to do for quite a while. So make sure that you give to yourself as well, that you don't just get completely spent because you're spending all your time on a project or with other people. So give to yourself as well. But it does look like this idea can be very, very successful. Follow through with everything you have to follow through with. I am encouraging to go back the work that you've done already and check everything. If you have to turn something in for either approval or for other people to take a look at, make sure all your T's are crossed, your I's are dotted. But other than that, it looks like clear sailing. Make sure that your focus stays with this thing to completion. You can get distracted by other people's needs and other people's desires. So follow it through to completion, and I really think that you will benefit greatly from this idea. The High Priestess. This means coming into your power, finding your spiritual balance. It can be as easy as wandering into a church, and it can be, embracing your own gifts as a spiritual healer, or reading a self-help book if you're not connected to the God source. That's fine. But you're taking the high road on things. You're looking at the big picture on, instead of looking at the little piddly things, why this happened. You're following the progress of something. You're looking at the big picture. This happened so I can do that. That happened so I can do this. So you're really looking at the big picture. I met that person. It was adversarial, but I learned this from having that disagreement with someone. So it does look like in general you are incorporating a more spiritual side to your life, that it isn't just a surface life. You're digging deep and looking at like the meaning of life, and you're incorporating it a little bit more, going with the flow. You learned a lot of stuff about going with the flow last month, so it's kind of a continuation of your trust in the journey and your belief in yourself as well. So you are enough, Sagittarius. You are enough. And the High Priestess kind of tells me that you're coming into focus, you're coming into balance on your purpose, and kind of mellowing out a little bit when things don't go your way, and looking at the big picture. Because sometimes if you miss that plane, it could have exploded. There is a reason why everything happens, even the negative. So it looks like you're expanding your awareness to embrace that philosophy. Everything happens for a reason, even if you were disappointed. In the long run, it always shows you that 9 times out of 10, you really benefited from maybe that situation not happening the way that you wanted it to happen. So you're embracing your High Priestess. And for many of you, it may be joining the healing arts, whether it's through massage, tarot reading, taking a class in meditation. Something on the spiritual realm is opening up. And for those of you that are not spiritually braced, it could just be taking care, a little bit more self-care of your earth suit, giving yourself a little respite from everybody's jive. But it does look like it involves self-care a little bit more and making you a priority. What is next is the 9. So you have like a lot of almost to completion stuff. You have very high cards here. And this is kind of sorting out your spiritual closet. Kind of taking a look at things that work, and letting go of the things that don't, saying goodbye to friendships that haven't really served you in a while, and really taking the time to clean up those projects, being realistic about projects that, you know, if you've been meaning to put this table together for 10 years and you know you're not going to do it, get rid of it. Get rid of it. What is the history of you doing your projects? Be realistic about it. Let go of the things that serve you. that don't serve you, and embrace the things that do. If it's just clutter and a was gonna approach to it, let it go. Let it go. Clear the space out for what life has for you next. And especially with the star here. So you have to clean out room, make room so the new can arrive. The world is at the basis here. This is a great card. It is absolutely the highest card in the deck. I think the world is the highest card in the deck. Yeah. So the Fool is the beginning and the world is the end. So it does look like finally you're going to see a light at the end of the tunnel. That is not a train. I'm glad you hung in there. But the world also is, everything is open for you. But whatever you put into it, you will get back tenfold. So if you're in a negative space and you're putting negative stuff out there in the world, that's what you're going to get back. The world does not discriminate about energy. What you put out in there is what you get back. So if you keep in the positive and keep your self-esteem in order. Tell yourself, you are enough. You can do this. Keep that inner dialogue positive. Then you will have positive results. Same thing with negative. So whatever you put out in the world or into your mind is what you're going to attract tenfold. So it does look like you're moving into a much more positive mindset. So I think you're going to start seeing the benefits, reaping the rewards of being positive Sagittarius. The Ace of Pentacles is here. Love the Ace cards. They're the God cards, the Spirit cards. You are obviously on your right path. You're just about to go through that gate. And it does feel like you have made a huge shift in your life in the last couple of years. You've cleaned up some relationships. You've cleaned up some miscommunications. You've cleaned up some job stuff. It does look like you're clearing the deck to make more money or start a project where you can be a little bit more independent with your money. Maybe not so reliant on the man. But it does look like some of these ideas that you have are really valid, and all that struggle that you've been doing over the last 5 to 10 years, you're going to start seeing some payoff. So hang in there. You are on the right path. You have connected with the people that'll bring you to the place that you need. It does look like collecting a little bit more information, maybe having a plan. Write it down so it becomes real to you. But it does look like, whatever you put in tenfold here, you'll get back. If you can keep that positive tone and that positive mindset, you will see some of these more positive rewards. But it does look like you've cleaned out your closet. You're continuing to do so. And all that hard work is going to start paying off. But it does look like you've hit the wall a number of times, but have been diligent about it. So I'm very proud of you, Sagittarius, for moving past some of those challenges that have kind of vexed you, and you kept going, even though it looked futile at points. But thank you for continuing. I think you're doing a great job. There are some things troubling you in your mind. It does look like your sleep patterns may be a little disturbed. You may be either sleeping too much or not at all. It does look like float a little bit, lighten up on yourself. You do have some other things to resolve. Look at them one by one. One big piece of the puzzle has been revealed to you, so you don't have to worry about that. It does feel like some family issues have been resolved that when you give back somebody else's problem to them, they either fly or they fall. And it does look like that truth has been revealed. It does look like family is coming together and resolving some of their own things on their own, but it does look like you had to back out of the situation a little bit, take your leave, and let them figure it out. So you're starting to reap the benefits of that, but you are, a lot of these things are hanging over your head. It does feel money oriented. Those will be righted in time. Maybe not on the time that you want them to, but they will be righted. So lighten up a little bit. Allow yourself to float a little bit. It does feel like some stomach issues are being incorporated into your body through this stress. So if you can maybe do some physical activity to validate that body and to move that energy on a physical level. You fire signs really need the validation of movement. So, it's a great season to go swimming, hike on a mountain, go scream at a mountaintop, some kind of physical activity where you can exhaust your body a little bit so your mind doesn't take over and the body just goes, hey, I need sleep. Doesn't matter what's on your mind. The culmination card is the Knight of Pentacles. Pentacles are Earth. That's Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. This can be a younger person. There's another Knight here. So it really does feel like two people are pulling you in two different directions. The Tower pretty much says no good can come from this. The Knight of Wands is fire. That's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This could be you, and you may be putting a earth sign's needs in front of your own. Be aware of that is not going to serve you. But it does feel like two people pulling you in different directions. So Earth is Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo, and the fire is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So there is two different sets of rules, two different pulling in two different directions. They're even looking in different directions. So it may be some discord that you need to either take leave from or resolve. That is up to you and depending on what the situation is. But it does look like you're feeling torn in two different directions by two different opinions. One may be your own as well. The Tower here is lessons through destruction. So if you meet this with the same set of tools and the same way that you've done things in the past, it's not going to work out. You're going to have to take a little look at things from a different perspective and resolve it a little differently. If you ignore it, it will destroy. It will destruct right in front of you and the neighbors. The Tower is when you ignore things. This can be affairs. This can be moral issues. This can be thefts. This can be doing things that you know are out of pocket and you know you shouldn't do. As I said, Tower is lessons through destruction. If you repeat the same behavior over and over again, that's going to be destroyed. So you must take a different approach to a problem that has been visiting you for a while. So Sagittarius, that is your general reading for the month of July. I'm going to throw a couple of these great past life cards. These are Doreen Virtue cards. She's great. She kind of sums it up in one or two words, and it seems to really come on home. All right, here's two right here. Authority figures and trust and faith. And trust and faith has been coming up a lot for everyone, and I am shuffling. So authority figures, don't shy away from authority figures. Know the ones that you can trust. Know the ones that you can honor, and know the ones that are just full of jive. Just because they have a title behind them doesn't mean they're right. Follow the goddess of your heart or the god of your heart, and trust in your faith, trust in the journey, and trust in what your God of your heart is telling you. All of the information that you need is inside of you. It's a bit of acceptance and having faith for the journey as well. I know fire signs want it to happen right now. So trust yourself in the faith, have faith in the journey, and trust in it.